Ice Climbers have finally made it back into Smash, and I, for one, am quite welcome for their return, especially with their changes in Ultimate. The Climbers have been a decisive character in the past with some less than honest grabbing strategies in Melee and Brawl, giving them a really bad rep, but in Ultimate, it finally seems like it might be their chance to be a beloved returning character, be fun to play, and not be hated by half the community. Ices have always been, first and foremost, grapplers, and really good ones too. From wobbles in Melee to chain grabs in Brawl, it's just kind of what they were and what they did, and it gave them really respectable places in the tiers. When you played Ices, you played for the grab, and it just worked. In Ultimate, they seem to still have a lot of potential here. They still have some great combos based off throws, but if I need to be honest, it's as if their game plan has been swapped up a bit. They won't be 0-to-deathing you anymore with grabs, but the rest of their moveset has been insanely potentially buffed when combos, possible desyncs, and snatching kills earlier than ever before. In the end, it seems like the way that they played will be swapping up a bit, but if you liked Ices in the past, you're still gonna love them here. For more future info on Ice Climbers, if you want, hit that subscribe button for future videos as I'll be giving any updated information on them, and as well every other character in Smash Ultimate to boot, along with more advanced tips on Ice Climbers as the game comes out. Anyways, in this section I'm going to be going over the most important changes / the best parts of the character of Ice Climbers. I won't be going over every single character frame data in this section, but I will link that all in the description below, so if you want to read it up, it's there. Anyways, let's begin. If there's one thing I love about Ice Climbers in Ultimate, it's their damage potential. It's always been great in previous games, and here it continues this trend, in addition to the 1v1 damage multiplier, making it even better. With almost every attack, if both Ice Climbers hit, they'll deal around 15 to 20%. Add this to the fact that they have a few good combo starters, mainly up tilt in their throws, and some nice kill moves, well, it gives you a heavyweight style fighter on a character that's actually very small and pretty light. As I said earlier, they aren't a chain grab type character anymore, but that isn't to say that their grab is bad at all. At early percents, they have throws into damaging tilts, and that you have a lot of potential to juggle afterwards. At medium percents, they also have the opportunity to utilize almost any of their aerials for free, and get a lot of percent with that. While they are a bit slow to get around and definitely not the safest characters, as proven with their grabs and other attacks, if they get in, they're going to be dealing a ton of damage and dishing you out a really quick stock. Speaking of ending stocks, their kill power is absolutely incredible. Their back air and forward air both seem like solid options to end stocks if both the climbers hit, and of course they have their smashes. Their smashes are solid in this game, and if you hit with both the climbers, you're just gonna get extremely early kills. They come out relatively quick, are a bit disjointed, and have huge knockback with both the climbers and okay with just Sopo. Now that and everything else just shows that Ice Climbers is pretty good, but with the caveat that you have to keep Nana alive, and you have to keep Nana really close to you to deal this great damage and to deal this great knockback. But if you can do that, it's honestly insane. Now, another thing I wanted to mention is the small disjoints that they both have on their hammers. While it's nothing amazing like an Ike sword or even like a King DDD hammer, it is something, and it's something you don't see way too much on smaller characters. I mean, when you compare this to maybe someone like Pikachu, he sometimes has some debatable disjoints, but not way too much. But Ice Climbers do, and when you compare them mainly to someone like Squirtle, or maybe even somebody like, Inklings, they have this disjoint, and this will allow you in a lot of cases to straight up beat other characters' moves, and in a lot of cases, beat the other small characters' moves. This gives them a nice little step up over a lot of the other small characters, especially like Kirby, and while it's not game-breaking at all, it is really nice. Finally, I just wanted to mention their up air, because this is honestly my favorite part about them, and in the past, this was also one of my favorite parts about them. In Ultimate, though, it can juggle, and it can juggle so well and stop people from coming down so well. Just so you guys know, if both the climbers hit with this, it does 21%, and can lead, sometimes, into itself depending on the stage. In addition to all of this, the landing log on the move was buffed a ton from 30 frames in Brawl to 14 in Ultimate, and personally, I think this is the most impactful frame data change anywhere in their kit, at least in my personal opinion, and it makes them a lot stronger and a lot better at juggling now. Ice Climbers is all about, well, the climbers. It's about using two characters as one, two sides of the same sword. It's a character that needs to protect itself and its other self, that being Nana, which is definitely kind of weird to get used to. But also, you get a helper that protects you at time, or that tries to aid you at time, which is pretty nice. This mechanic is a very hard one to master, requires a lot of waiting for your teammate to regroup, and benefits a lot from baiting and pouncing. With this in mind, I need to explain some stuff about the second climber, that being Nana. In this game, she deals a little bit less damage than Popo and dies a bit earlier. She shields with a few frames of delay after Popo does, and generally is just kinda worse. But she should still be your first priority of keeping alive. She allows for your damage to be almost doubled. Stock should be ended much earlier and gives a ton of safety with a lot more active hitboxes essentially at all times. And as we all know, Sopo's pretty bad, so yeah, keep your teammate alive. Something else to keep in mind about Ice Climbers in Ultimate is that they actually play as a pretty great grappling character still, and if you can get a grab, you're going to deal a ton of damage. But the way you play them has changed up a little bit. They also got a lot of their aerials buffed, and this is actually really important because what it means is that the grab's going to be slightly less important and the aerials are going to be slightly better. But you still want to focus on both, and essentially this is going to be kind of how you want to play. You space your opponent with your disjoints and just try your very best to get them to shield as much as they can. Condition them to shield all the time. And then from there, you can just run in, go for a tomahawk, and use your stellar grab game to punish those shields. Now if you land some aerials and start some combos before that, that's even better. Go with those. But I think the plan will mainly be on conditioning the opponent to shield and then punishing for the majority of the time as the climbers. Ice climbers are pretty slow. Not super slow, but certainly can't go in again and again with all these mix-ups like Fox can, for example. This would give them trouble in getting in and mixing up the opponent if they weren't famous for their famous desyncs. While it's still hard to tell exactly how far people are actually going to be able to go when using these in Ultimate, at this time it seems at least possible to desync the climbers and, for example, have Nana use the down B, the Frostwind, while Popo jumps in and does a tomahawk grab or a jab or whatever he wants to do. And most times in this game, it still seems pretty unsafe for the climbers to just go in aggressive at the same time, but if you use the desyncs, it seems like they actually have a decent amount of potential for this. Another part of the potential of the character is their string game in addition to their desyncs. From the little gameplay we've already seen, there have been so many showcases of 0 to 60% strings or even more, and I think as time goes on, this is where the character is mainly going to advance. At first, of course, don't focus way too much on it and just let yourself enjoy the character, but if there's something to keep your mind on as an Ices main for the potential of this character in the future, well, there it is, and all I'm going to say is that they have a lot of potential with this going forward. My recommendation for the first thing to start off with as Ice Climbers is spacing and waiting. I know that everyone wants to just get into the action, but with a character like this, you're gonna kind of need some patience. She plays a lot in the way that, Donkey Kong or Bowser would in Smash 4, and you really have to wait for those grabs or for those punishes. So what you want to do is go into a few games and try to play them very defensively. Only go in when you see a huge opening in your opponent's defenses, and from there, punish that as far as you can. Get as much damage as you can. But then, right after that, go back to playing defensively, wait in the neutral, rinse, repeat. This will get you used to their basic game plan, and from there, you can learn those extremely powerful, tricky, offensive plays. I'm going to also say that spending a lot of time learning all their potential throw combos is going to be really important as well. They have a lot which looks to be strong, and they have probably one of the better throws in the entire game. In a game where throws honestly don't really work that well because of balloon knockback. But that actually benefits Ice Climbers a lot because it means that they're not going to be thrown away too much, while if you practice your throws and you get those down and you get that damage down, you're going to be dealing so much more damage than everybody else per throw, and yeah, make sure you maximize your damage on every single throw. Finally, I'd say look up any currently found desyncs and see if you can replicate them. See how it's done and figure out how you want to use these into your own game plan. Do you want to maybe have Nana throw an ice block as you engage with Nair or Fair or back air, or maybe you want to have Nana protect you with a side B as you're retreating, and then you back her up with a down B. It's up to you to figure out exactly how you want to use these techs, but I implore you to try them out and try to strategize how to use them effectively into your own games. And there you go, these are all the reasons why you should main Ice Climbers. Now, if you have a certain character you want me to cover next, comment hashtag the character name, WYSM, or why you should main, and hit that subscribe button / notification bell to actually see the guide when it comes out. Now, if you don't have any of those things you want to do, maybe comment down below what your favorite part of Ice Climbers is in Ultimate, or just what part of the moveset you really enjoy that's been changed. Thanks again for watching though, and if you enjoyed, click that like button or click on the screen for playlists on Smash Ultimate videos and specifically a Why You Should Main on Pikachu. As always guys, thank you for watching and have a smashing day.